Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Happy Wednesday to you. Matt Jolly here on Neighbor to Neighbor. We've got a big guest. She lives in Nashville now, but she is from Cochran, Georgia. You know her. You've seen her on the show, and 3+ million people have recently seen Rebecca Howell singing alongside Reba McEntire with Fancy. Pretty cool stuff, Rebecca. Welcome back to the show. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be talking with you this morning.
So how was that? You submit the Fancy video here, a couple of weeks ago. Reba picks it up and starts singing along with it. Talk to me about that. That was huge.
It was such a crazy moment. I actually saw it happening in real time, which was crazy because I had gotten on TikTok. I mean, I was obsessing over like checking my video to see how many views it had gotten and just like, making sure people were tagging her in the comments. So like every single day I was basically going on there and checking my TikTok, checking Instagram because I wanted it so bad for her to see it. And when I got on TikTok to check my video for the day, I got a notification. And at first I thought that it was maybe just a spam account. And it was like, Reba added your video to her favorites. And I was like, wait, it has a blue check mark. So I clicked on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the real Reba. And then as I was on her page, I saw it pop up that she posted it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was actually one of the first people to even like and comment on it because I saw her post it in real time.
And there she is, like singing along with you. And I mean,
crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, she has always been like my idol, I would say, like my favorite. And like even when I was on The Voice, people would jokingly call me Little Reba, because I did her song The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia as my blind audition. And so it was like a full circle moment for me and very crazy. And just like to hear her harmonizing with me, even though it was, through a video, but it was still crazy. And even now, I think the video is at over 4 million views. I'm still getting like notifications and followers from TikTok from over a month ago, that video going viral. So it's very cool. Very, very, very awesome time in my life, and definitely very grateful and thankful that she did that for me, and I'll never forget it. I can tell you that.
Amen. Rebecca Howell is our guest this morning on Neighbor to Neighbor. She is an independent artist up in Nashville from Cochran, Georgia, a contestant on The Voice. I mean, that is huge. And of course, a big Reba McEntire fan. I wanted to have you back on because you've got new music coming out Friday, November the 17th. That's this week. On Friday, it's going to come out Thursday night at midnight. So y'all just be sure to pre-save. Locked Up last night. But even better than that, you're going to be back in your hometown of Cochran, Georgia on December 16th down there at the City Auditorium. Talk to me about this this concert back home, because this is kind of it's an unusual thing, and it's also a thing like, if you're like me, I mean, it's scriptural, right? There are no prophets in their own hometown, so you're going back. I'm hoping it's a sellout. I'm hoping it's huge, but you gotta have some nerves about this, I would think.
Yeah, I think there is some nerves about it. Obviously you want to do your best for the people that, you come from. So I think there's some nerves in that, just being in front of the people I grew up with. And I think it's different when you're playing to crowds of people you don't know. But then when you're on stage and you're singing for people that you literally grew up with, there's a little bit more tension there.
Yeah, there always pressure. Is, isn't there? I mean, because they're not going to cut you any slack. They're just not. You know how that goes. So,
yeah, but
all right.
I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm going to be December the 16th. And I believe the show starts at 6. And it's $15 if you buy the tickets at the link on my Facebook page, or $20 at the door. And I'm going to be playing with Cody Bradley and Caleb Sanders. It's going to be an acoustic show.
Oh, it is.
And I'm going to be playing about a 45-minute set. So come out, hear some of my original stuff, a lot of unreleased stuff, and even going to do some Christmas tunes.
Yeah, just get of year,
get in the holiday spirit. That's right.
I had to break the Christmas tree out already. Y'all don't come after me now, but I did. I've got it. I had to break it out the other day because I've got some travel coming up, and so I didn't want to, come home to a house that didn't have the Christmas tree up. So
Listen,
forgive
you
me.
ain't got to tell me anything. We are in my household. We are once Halloween's over, it's Christmas time. Christmas it's a holiday season. Thanksgiving is a day, so you pause, you do Thanksgiving, and then you're back.
Ooh.
You're back in the Christmas season.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, Christmas is a season. My friend Matt Youngkin, I'm just going to name him, from Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Mr. Youngkin always says, "I'm on Hobby Lobby time."
That's right.
Hey, right? I mean, right after summer, they break that stuff out. So I love that. Christmas is a season. Thanksgiving is just a day to pause and be thankful, and then get back to Christmas. And if you're not thankful for the baby Jesus, and you don't have a couple of extra weeks for him, I mean, come on now. All right, Locked Up last night, coming out November 17th. You're playing down in Cochran. Man, it's going to be great. I wish we could hear the song Locked Up last night. Tell us about it a little bit, and then maybe we'll make something happen here.
Yeah, so I actually wrote this song all by myself, and it's kind of funny. So the song in itself is meant to be, kind of comical. People say all the time that female country artists, they always talk about killing men or getting cheated on, stuff like that. And so it's meant to be kind of comical. I sat down and I was writing one night, and I was just trying to think of something to write about. And I was just kind of in that mood, just being funny. And I tell my husband all the time, not jokingly, that if I ever catch you cheating on me, I'll smile in my mugshot photo. So, and I was just thinking about that. And I was just thinking, and I said, that would be kind of funny to, write a song about that, just, to be funny. And so I sat down. And I did. And it honestly is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I think it's catchy. It's fun. It's not too serious, but it's just, and a lot of people relate to it because they're like me. They're like, yeah, that's what would happen.
But, that's so funny, though. But that's so funny you say that, because a lot of times, when you're sitting down to do something creative, if you find that release, whatever it is that gets those, things bouncing around in your brain correctly, sometimes just giving yourself the freedom to write something like that is all it takes. And it sounds like this thing really worked out well for you. So you've released it on November the 17th. How can folks pre-save it, or can they pre-save it now?
Yeah, so basically on all of my social media platforms, there's a link in my bio on all of them. And right up at the top, it says pre-save. And you can click that link. It'll take you to a page where you can log into your Spotify account. For whatever reason, the iTunes one just doesn't work with my distributor, so it would have to be on Spotify. But it definitely helps me when people, when they pre-save on Spotify. If you know anything about that world, we're all trying as independent artists to get on an editorial playlist on Spotify. And the more pre-saves you have, the more better your chance is to be on an editorial playlist. So if people go on there and do that, that definitely helps me. And, I'm an independent artist, so I don't really have all of the people behind me pushing it to Spotify to playlists and stuff. I'm doing it on my own. So it just would be very helpful if you would go to the link in my bio and click right up at the top where it says to pre-save the song, and it'll just pop up as soon as it comes out, pops up into your whatever on Spotify. It'll pop up right there. It's already saved for you to listen to.
We need a Georgia Radio Spotify playlist, don't we?
You should.
We need to do
You should
that.
make a playlist. That would be awesome.
Ms. Mabel will download it. We'll teach her how to use it. We've got, Sherry that writes in all the time, Byron. We'll have at least 5 people on there that know how to use Spotify, because, you can use it in a log truck too. So we might even get Brother Wade on there. All right, let's hear a little bit of this. Can we do it? You want to play the whole thing, or are we just going to play a little bit of it? What are we going to do?
Let's just play the whole thing. Let's play the whole thing, and then y'all download it once it's available on November 17th.
All right, Locked Up last night. New music here from Rebecca Howell.
I got locked up last night, yeah, but everything's alright. I look good in my mugshot photo, went to sleep in my cell just fine, 'cause I came
love it. I'm just sitting here smiling, thinking about you writing that song. So what's the hub say when he hears this? Is he,
you know what's so funny? He loves the song, but he says, "Babe, why do you always write songs about
about me?"
Men? And he's like, we have a loving relationship. So I do actually have a really sweet love song that's coming out next year, probably in May. But because he said that when I wrote that one, he was like, "Why do you never write love songs? You just write all these hate songs." I'm like, "They write themselves, babe. I don't know what to tell you. They just write themselves." And
they sell. Hopefully.
That's true.
That's what we want, because it's all about making money. You're not working for the Red Cross. This is a business, and we got to make some money. We got to help Rebecca out so she can keep writing these fun songs. Man, I like that song, Locked Up Last Night. And you know what? Your range is incredible on it. I mean,
thank you.
Musically, it's well done. Who's producing this for you?
So my producer's name is Brandon Wiggers, and he's local here in Nashville. He's amazing. I connected with him maybe around 6-7 months ago, maybe more than that. But he is awesome. He definitely has an ear for the sound that I'm going for. It's been awesome working with him. I think I've worked with a lot of people, but I finally feel like he gets me, gets the sound that I'm going for. So I'm super excited about the songs that I have coming up in the future, because my plan is basically at the start of the year to just be releasing songs every 6 to 8 weeks. And so I'm going to be in the studio a lot working with him, and I cannot wait for y'all to hear the stuff that we're working on even right now. It's just incredible. He's an awesome producer, and he definitely gets me and my sound. So
big Nashville sound. We're pulling for you, Rebecca, all of us down here in Georgia. We really are. We want to see you just not only at, the Grand Ole Opry visiting friends. We want to see you on the stage.
Well, so I definitely appreciate it, and I look forward to being back in my hometown on the 16th. And please, please, please get tickets. Come out, say hello. I want to see your faces and share some really awesome music. And I do so appreciate all the support. It is very much appreciated.
All right, y'all go buy those tickets right now. Rebecca Howell, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Country, that's what I grew up listening to.
Georgia Radio. We love you more than peanuts and peaches. So glad you're here. Matt Jolly, right here on Georgia Radio.
And welcome back here to Neighbor. My thanks again to Rebecca Howell for coming on. And you got to go download her song, Locked Up Last Night. If you haven't heard it, go replay the podcast. Interesting that we're talking about murderous women today. I wanted to have Fay Stapleton Burnett on. She is not a murderous woman, but she has written a story about a murder, and it's pretty cool. It's the Elvira story, which I just love. You were telling me about this last night when I found out we had Rebecca on. I was like, well, we gotta have Fay on to talk about Elvira. Tell me about this book, because it's on Amazon right now. You can go download it. If you want a hard copy or a print copy, you can get it. But give us the quick story, because we got a few minutes left here, but I want to get this on.
Hey, yes, thanks for having me, Matt. This is a true story of a woman who confessed to a murder in Jefferson County in 1884. But what makes the story unique is she did not commit the murder. And I've been told in the history of the state of Georgia, one of the law professors at the university cannot recall another case. It's most unusual for women to confess to a murder they did not commit. But Elvira Ivey, her name was Elvira Ivey, did.
Isn't that incredible that you found the story, for one, and that's a whole story in itself. But the fact that this is such a rare event, not only in our state but around the world, and in 1884 that it's still documented. Tell the story about how you found it, because this is a good one.
Yeah. The how I found the story was I have my great-grandfather's diary. He was a Baptist preacher in Jefferson County at that time, and a circuit preacher. And he wrote in his diary that many people were going to court for the trial of, he called her Vera. He knew her well enough he called her Vera because she attended Little Briar Creek Church, which actually is over into Warren County. But anyway, this trial was going on while the diary was being written, and he documents several things about it. So, of course, I was fascinated and did most of my research in historic newspapers online and took that research and wrote it into a book. And the more I found out about it, then I actually have contacted some of the descendants of the people involved in this whole situation. And it was just really a fascinating journey.
Now, I don't want to give everything away because you got to go read the book. But
yeah,
but the important thing to know here is that she took the fall, or at least tried to take the fall for this fella that was pretty close to her.
Yes, that's exactly right. I mean, whenever someone confesses to anything that they didn't do, you always have to wonder, who are they trying to protect?
Yeah.
And that would be what sort of unfolds in this story. And this story relates to the other book I wrote, which was called The Hanging of Susan Eberhardt. That was about a woman who was convicted of murder in 1873 down in Webster County. And she was hanged for murder. And the governor at that time received such negative backlash from the public that he was never elected to office again. So as a result, governors knew that if they let a white woman, be executed specifically, their career was over. And so that sort of relates to this story directly on why Elvira would confess to the murder. So yeah, you'll have to read the story, but that directly is impacted. And there was only been 4 white women ever executed in the state of Georgia for murder.
Wow. You know, it takes me back to thinking about Carla Fay Tucker back in Texas when I was still in school, and
yes,
a bright journalist, student. And I remember George W. Bush having a really difficult time, at least he seemed to in the media, trying to decide as governor of the state of Texas if he was going to carry out this execution of Carla Fay Tucker, who was an axe murderer. I mean, publicized. But it's interesting that you say that.
The visual sight of a woman hanging is just different. I'm sorry, but it just is, And these hangings were public. And gradually over time, some of the hangings became private. There was a hanging in Warren County of a black woman, and they did that privately. And then there's only been one black woman that I've ever found documented. She was electrocuted. And then the 4th white woman that's ever been executed in the state of Georgia was 2015, and she was by lethal injection. But yeah, the number of women so far is so few compared to the number of men who've been executed. Yeah.
Well, it's a fascinating book, and it is available on Amazon right now. You can download it and read it tonight on your Kindle, which I would highly recommend. And if you know any movie producers, Fay would love to talk to you because, seriously, I mean, this would be a great story. And, of course, with the hit song Elvira, which sort of mirrors a lot of the qualities that this young lady had. How old was she, by the way, when she fell into this problem?
Yeah, I think she was about in her 20s. And the reason, it's like I was saying to you, Matt, truth is stranger than fiction. If you were going to fictionally create a story where a beautiful, promiscuous young woman gets involved in a murder, but, her beauty and her promiscuity are her outstanding features, you would name her Elvira. And anybody in the state of Georgia, the last name Ivey is a rather common name. There's a lot of Iveys in the Warren County area, and actually throughout the state. There were many people with that name. But I think Elvira Ivey is such a traditional Southern name, but that was actually the woman's name. And some of the description we have, they didn't have photographs in the newspaper when this occurred in 1885. They would have some pen and ink drawings, but no photographs. As a result, whoever the correspondents for the newspapers that covered these trials gave verbal descriptions of the people. They described their eyes. They would give their height, their weight, their figure. And so really what we have no pictures of Elvira in existence, but we have a very good physical description, which to me almost is more interesting.
Yeah, let's the mind kind of wander there.
Yes, it does.
As you start thinking about this poor lady. And of course, the fellow that she was protecting in all of this, as you elaborate in your book, really had a difficult time with this. And you got to read the book to find out how and what I'm talking about here. But I mean, that's many of well-documented accounts of him just not faring well with this. As you could imagine, the weight of that on someone's soul and on their this, I guess their psychological makeup after that would have to be challenging.
That's right. And Elvira, eventually on her second trial, she was acquitted. So she was set free, and no one else was ever charged with the murder. So that is what's happened. One thing I did want to point out when I was talking about the physical description in my other book, as well as this one, people who describe people charged with murder or whatever, they love to talk about their eyes. And, we talk about eyes are the windows of the soul. And that was the case in the Susan Eberhardt book. But the thing about Elvira was she had unusually large eyes. And it has changed the way I view people. You think a woman, her figure might be what attracts you. Well, certainly that's true. But her eyes would be what would capture you. You think about it. She would look at men, and that would be the thing. But she had beautiful big eyes, so it was just very interesting. Yeah, it's. I mean, you think about it. That's just one of her features, and you think about look at Hollywood actresses or models or whatever. I mean, there's certainly many features to a woman, but her eyes are one of the most outstanding features. And Elvira had beautiful big eyes. So.
There you go, beautiful big tracts of eyes. There you go.
That's
there
right.
you go. That's all I could think of when you're saying that. So.
Yes, he didn't have little squinty eyes.
No, not at all. Well, look, tell everybody how they can get the book and what the title is, because you got to go download this thing. It's a great read.
This is available on Amazon. You can do the Kindle version, or you can do the printed version. And the title of the book is Miss Elvira Ivey, Ivey. And my name is Fay Stapleton Burnett. And we
know your name, and we're gonna link it into the show, by the way.
and my other book is on there too. As I'm not a fan of even talking about murders, they're very unpleasant. But I have found myself writing two books about murders in the state of Georgia. And my books are not novels; these are historically documented cases with I have pictures in the book, and I have newspaper accounts, and so history lovers might really enjoy this kind of thing. You're going to be just like
Rebecca Howell someday. You're going to be writing songs about murder. Yeah. I said to you yesterday, I said I guess husbands need to start worrying when they get a single steak knife for Christmas, because that might not go well. You got a big holiday planned? You're coming up with Thanksgiving and all the trimmings, huh?
That's right. Except in this case, it was a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh, there you go. Well, yeah,
yeah.
You can see that coming a long way away.
That's right.
So you and Pastor Brock, got a big holiday coming? Is it going to be fun for you?
Plan to be in Due West, South Carolina with family. So yes, Thanksgiving's one of our favorite times of the year. So yes, and thank you, Matt.
Well, I love what Rebecca just said, because I've already got, I'm on Hobby Lobby time. I've already got the Christmas stuff coming out. I'm ready. She said Christmas is a season, Thanksgiving is a day. And I like that.
Well, that's true. That's true. And
so I'm just saying.
Hey, my birthday is on Thanksgiving this year. So
well, it's not only a birthday, it's a celebration of Fay Stapleton Burnett. The Pilgrims had that in mind, trust me, when they came over, I'm sure.
They did.
Listen, yes. Fay, thank you so much for coming on the show. The phone is chirping this morning with people writing in, and they just keep coming. I can't, you can hear the dings. You can hear the dings. They're coming in. All right, Fay. God bless y'all. Thank you, and we'll talk real soon.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Fay Stapleton Burnett, everybody. The book, Miss Elvira Ivey, available now on Amazon. We're going to quick link it into the show story. My thanks to Fay, my thanks to Rebecca Howell, and my thanks to you for all that you do supporting Georgia Radio. So long for now, everybody.
Georgia Radio, on your phone, in your home, everywhere you